So for whatever reason, for whatever reason, when you want to have a KPI, you must have a purpose. When you don't have a proper purpose, why you're implementing KPI, do you think the results will reflect on your performance? Yes, no? Guys, my class is very interactive. You don't have to feel shy. Just talk, because the more you all give input, the class will be very jovial, and there'll be a lot of discussion, healthy discussion. So when you have to implement a KPI, but you don't have a purpose, that means every year we will monitor, we will have results. After that, we don't do anything with the results. We don't know what is the results means. It's just that we are reporting. Are you all in that situation? Anyone in that situation? Banyak, lot. Many of us are in that situation, right? We don't know actually. We are doing KPI, but we don't know what. Yeah, Aisha, correct. We are doing KPI, but we don't know why we are doing KPI. How does the KPI results reflect on the performance, and what are we supposed to do once we have a KPI results? So what the results means, and based on the results, what we supposed to do the upcoming year. But every year we are tracking KPI. So this is the false. Okay, KPI is a very beautiful system. If well managed, well implemented, it tells you the story of your performance, past performance, and future performance. Right? So from your current results, you can actually determine whether your objectives are being achieved and what you're supposed to achieve in the upcoming year. What do you want to achieve? So that is where KPI plays a very crucial role. So why KPIs are important? Okay, one, it gives you a focus and aligns goal with company strategy. Every year we are doing work, but we don't know where we are heading to, right? So can you get into a bus? Let's say you just get into a bus, but you don't know where you're going. Boleh ke? Eliza, today all Malaysians, right?
Yes, but I think we may have one or two expats lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I scared that tiba-tiba guna bahasa, they don't understand. Okay.
Okay, so, okay. I think we just continue with English lah. Yeah.
Okay. So example, let's say we get into a bus, and then the conductor, the bus driver or the conductor asks you where you want to go. Can I say anywhere? Boleh ke? Can or not?
Cannot.
No, right? Let's say something is wrong with you, right? You don't have a direction, but you got into a bus. So KPI is actually a direction of the company where we are heading to. So that is a KPI, right? So KPI is very important because it sets the direction. This bus is going to Kuching. This bus is going to Cebu. This bus is going to here, going to there. So based on where the bus is going, that is how we get into the bus, right? The same thing. You need KPI to align your performance, what you want to achieve in this 1 year. So that is KPI. Okay, second, make better decisions, use clear data. So KPI is all about numbers. KPI is all about numbers. So KPI has to be quantifiable, has to be measured. So measured means you need data. If you don't have data, we can't measure. So KPI is about data. So along this year, especially these past years, when first time I will go into a company as a trainer or as a consultant, first thing I see, their KPIs are not data driven. They have KPIs. They not mean they have, they claim that is a KPI, but actually they are not KPI because they are not data driven. So sometimes I ask them, okay, if you say this is your KPI, how will you measure them? They don't know how to measure. So many KPI, when at the end of the year, if the KPI cannot be measured, what will happen to the KPI? What will happen to the KPI? If a KPI cannot be measured, what will happen to a KPI? Anyone? Redundant, right? The KPI cannot be measured means it becomes redundant, right? Correct, class? So that. Yep. Yeah. The KPI will become redundant. So redundant because no data to measure, either no data or no proper data to measure. So the KPI becomes redundant. So every year we have lots of KPI going into redundancy. Why they are going into redundancy? That means in the beginning, you didn't do a proper homework. That means you did not establish the right KPI. As I told you, right, some of you are establishing KPI for the sake of establishing. You don't know why you're establishing, whether the KPI is the right KPI for that department or for that individual or not, we don't know. We simply establish KPI because boss wants a KPI. And most of the KPIs we copy from Google. Okay. Is it okay to copy KPI from Google now with ChatGPT? More easier, right? Can you ask ChatGPT or Google to set the KPI for you? Can or not? Can? No? Can. But need to modify. Yes, Nida, yeah, need to modify. I need to understand whether the KPI aligns with our company or not simply copy paste. Because the KPI which is written by ChatGPT or AI or Google, they are Google, ChatGPT, are they your staff or not? When you use ChatGPT, Google, AI, all, are they our employees? No, right? So if they are not our employees, that means do they understand our company progress? What is the current situation in the company? Where we are heading to? They don't understand all this. So if they don't understand all this, how can they design the right KPI for us? So what actually they do, they just pick up from their database and give us. Okay, example, if you go to ChatGPT, you say, I want a KPI for measuring for HR department. That guy will give you a long list. You want more, you ask more. He will keep giving. But that doesn't mean all the KPI that he is giving applies to our company, because you are the one who know what is happening in your company, where we are, right? And at what level we are. And another thing, are you a startup company? Are you an established company? Are you a long-term company? All these also counts. So based on these only, you can actually pick the right KPI from the list given by AI. You cannot simply take everything, whatever the flow is giving, you can't take, because you need to modify them according to your situation in the company. So third is you drive improvement. So what is KPI? Why must we know why must you know how much you have progressed this year? Why? What is the purpose? What is the purpose for us to know the end of this year, how much I have progressed? That means how much I have performed. Usually in the beginning of the year under KPI, we set a target. So let's say this year I want to achieve sales 2 million. And then end of the year, I need to measure how much I achieve. Okay, let's say I achieve 1.6 million. So what does that show? It shows how much you have performed that year, right? So why must you know how much you have performed? That means how much was your earlier target and how much you have achieved your target. Why must we know all this? Why can't we just continue working every day without targets, without monitoring KPI, your achievement, your progress, all? Why can't I just continue working? What must we know? Yes. Why so quiet? Right? Why must we know? If you don't know, you don't have a direction, right? Right? So example, we have implemented, yes, correct, Nida. So we have implemented many things this year. So if I don't measure them, I don't measure my performance, will I know whether whatever I implemented is working or not? I don't know, right? So example, like we have kids at home. Why the school actually gives them an exam at the end of the year? Is it important for the school to give them an exam at the end of the year? Important then. Important to know. Otherwise, we won't know how much they are progressing. They're attending so many classes and everything. We don't know whether their learning is taking place or not. The same thing is with KPI. If you don't measure them, you don't know whatever steps, improvement steps, or whatever steps to improve your production, your output, your performance, whether they are working or not. So we need to test them. So the testing part is part where we actually monitor our KPI to see how far we have gone this year in achieving our targets and performance. Okay. The last one is to enhance accountability. Ensure everyone knows their responsibilities because KPI comes with responsibilities. Okay, when you set a KPI, you're setting responsibility for each employee at workplace. So you are telling, this is your target for this year, this is your KPI for this year, this is your target for this year. So I want you to achieve this. So we are giving accountability. So now who's supposed to achieve the KPI? Who's supposed to be accountable for his KPI achievement is that individual employee. So that is why we say that when we set KPI, everyone has their own accountability to achieve their KPI. Okay, what is the purpose of KPI? So purpose of KPI is to tracking progress. As I told you, purpose of KPI is not short sendiri, just for the sake of having it, you have it. Okay, some of y'all, the companies that I work with, some of the KPIs, they look very beautiful on papers. The paper is 80 gram paper, font size is very nice, got color all, got graph all. Does that show that their performance is good? Does that show their performance is good? No, right? So KPI's performance doesn't come from the visual, it's actually the content. Are your KPI the right KPI? Are they measuring the right thing? You know, that's the KPI has a purpose. All this is the one which will ensure your KPI is good. So what is the purpose of KPI? We want to track progress. So monitoring performance against set goals to ensure timely achievement. So nowadays, last time we have yearly goals, but now we have progressive goals or progressive target. So example, if your target is to achieve sales 1 million. So when I give you 1 million sales, does that look very big for you? I say, in end of this year, you must hit 1 million. Does that sounds like very huge for you? Huge kan? Tiba-tiba besar sangatnya, so big, 1 million. So what we do, we break the target. So we segmentize the target. So we segmentize target. Quarter 1, I want you to achieve 250,000. Quarter 2, 250. Quarter 3, 250. Last quarter, 250. So when I segmentize your KPI, it looks like it is easy to manage. You can't eat one whole chicken like that, but when you cut the chicken into smaller pieces, it is much more easy to chew and digest. The same thing for KPI. So we better track our KPI through segmented KPI. Okay, and then identifying strength and weaknesses, highlighting areas. Okay, once you get the results at the end of the year, right? So once we get the results for end of the year, you will know where you are exactly. Your company will know where they are exactly. So if your performance didn't meet your target, so that shows that you have a loop or you have a gap there because you did not meet your target. So now can you find for next year, because let's say this year our sales target was 1 million, but we only made about 0.8 million. We missed 0.2 million. So can we set something to improve next year? Definitely when you know that you only made, you lost your target, you did not meet 0.2, definitely for upcoming year, you will do a post-mortem and find out the reason and try to correct this reason, right? So that, yeah, right? So that is why the KPI is important. So if your KPI, you don't do all these, then what is the point of doing a KPI? So that's why sometimes I tell my clients, if you don't know what is the purpose of your KPI, you are just doing it for the sake of doing it. After that, you don't look into it. And whatever KPI results, it's giving you a trigger. It's actually triggering you of something which is not good, something which is good, or something which is not good. So forget about the good. Good is always a good story, right? But what about something which is not good, right? So if you go and do a brainstorming on why we missed the KPI, you will actually find many reasons. So once you have the reasons, the cause of not meeting KPI, then you can work out on how to your improvement plan, how to improve the gap that we have identified. That is why we say KPI is yearly progressive method to find out your strength and weakness. Strength is always our bonus, but weakness is something that we need to tap on. Otherwise, the weakness is the one which will pull down our performance. Okay, next will be enhancing productivity. Ensuring resources are used efficiently to maximize output. Just imagine we don't have KPI. So do you think without, if let's say we never tell, okay, I tell Nida, no KPI this year, right? Muhammad, no KPI this year. Momo, no KPI this year. So when we don't have KPI, will we do you think that we will have a target to work on or drive to work on? Yes, no? Yes or no? No, right? Every day I come to work, whether I perform or I don't perform, because no target. I just do whatever I want to do. As long as I come to work, I clock in and I clock out. That's it. Because no target set. My boss didn't tell me how much I have to perform in a day. So overall, it will have a very bad impact on the company. Everybody will start becoming lazy. Everybody don't have a direction. They just come to work, and after 5, they clock out and they go back. That's it. But how much to achieve, what to focus on, nothing, because no KPI. So that is why the KPI is important. Next, the last, the driving strategic growth, aligning company efforts with long-term business strategies. Same thing. Company also must have a long-term business strategy. Okay, in the next 2 years, we want to digitalize all our all our processes. So is that a goal? Is that a business strategy? In the next 2 years, I want my company, as the owner of the company, I want to digitalize all the processes in the company so that the processes become faster. And when we can actually handle all our processes faster, clients will be happy. So clients will be very happy to deal with our company because we process all the transaction very fast. Okay, have you all experienced, right, when your transactions are manual and not at a high speed, do your clients or customers get frustrated because we handle the process transactions very slow? Yes, right? So that is why nowadays many companies, one of their key direction in business is actually making it digitalized. And with the era of AI, right? Everyone want things very fast, right? Everyone want things very fast. So if you don't tap on that, you lose customers. So you are the loser. You cannot say, I don't care. I do my business. This is my business. I do the way I want, right? Why should I comply to the request from customers? Why should I bother about the feedback or complaints about customers? Can you say that or not? Can you do business if you have that mentality? I don't care about my customers. I just do at my own pace. Can? If you're an NGO, maybe because we are the one. With NGOs, we don't have customers. NGO, we are just coming there as a non-organizational profit-making company just to help people. So we can actually go at our own pace, but not like that. Even NGO also nowadays got KPI, right? But even if NGO got KPI, then we are business oriented. We are profit-making companies. Okay, so when we say profit-making companies, we must have customers, right? So when we have customers, we need to speed up all our processes, make sure that we give them timely responses, timely feedback, and everything. So in order to do that, we need to meet target, right? We need to upgrade our systems. We need to have certain goals that we want to achieve, whether long-term goals or short-term goals. So this is where the KPI comes in. And last, benchmarking against competitors, right? So that's why I say whenever you are doing profit making, when your company is a profit making company, you kena sentiasa jaga tepi kain orang. You need to see what your competitor is doing. If the competitor is doing A, then we need to have a target to achieve B. If the competitor is doing B, then we need to set our target that sooner or later we need to go to C, because that is how we compare our performance in the industry standards. Okay, so how do we compare? Comparing performance with industry standards to remain competitive. So do you think that in order to compare performance based on industry standard, you need numbers? Comparison means you need numbers to compare, right? Yes. So when you need numbers, where does the number come from? The number comes from KPI. So that means when I want to compare whether my company is performing on par with other competitors. Okay, we are performing on par with other competitors or better than other competitors. I need numbers. Otherwise, I cannot compare, right? So when I need numbers, means it has to be measured. That is where the KPI comes in, yeah? Plus, if I'm too fast, let me know, yeah? Okay, how PMS? PMS is Performance Management System. So KPI is actually coming under Performance Management System. So example, we have a lots of area where that we need to monitor. So all this has to have a system. So that means we need a system in order so that we can actually measure them accordingly, non-biasly, better structure. So what are the things which falls under example? I just use HR processes. How PMS fits into the HR process is that workplace planning and setting goal. So HR uses PMS to define employee roles, responsibilities, and performance expectations. Second is employee recruitment and boarding. Okay, and then performance evaluation and feedback, training and development, compensation, employee engagement, performance improvement, succession planning. So all these fits into a PMS, Performance Management System. So when you have this, it will also include KPI because we cannot run all these PMS without a KPI. So the power of KPIs unlock your business potential. So KPI gives us a very clear vision. KPI gives us a very clear vision. Number two is data-driven decisions, okay? So data-driven means replaces guesswork. You don't guess here. Oh yeah, we are doing well. So doing well is what? So you're doing well and my doing well. Well, is it the same? Okay, example. How many marks that if you get in maths that you will say that you are excellent? How many marks that you get in maths, you will say that you're excellent? How many marks? Maths, mathematics. Berapa markah? Above 90. 90 and above. Okay, Grace say above 90, Nida 90 and above. Others? Okay, 80. You see, my question was just the same question, right? Wow, Shafina, 98. Cikgu matematik ke ni? Okay. So everybody will have different this thing, right? Because why? Our expectation and our own capability is different. Our own capability is different. So that is why when I say that your target, you know, how many marks you get in mathematics, everybody giving different answers. Okay. For a person who's very good in mathematics, maybe like Shafina, so she sets a very high target. For her, getting 98 and above, and then only she will think that she's good in maths. But how about for a person who have never passed maths? Never passed maths. Never get marks above 20. Suddenly, if he get 60, what will he say? Will he say he's excellent? Yes, right? Yes. Tak pernah lulus maths and never pass maths. First time, every time below 20, right? But suddenly if he gets 60, he will celebrate. He said that he's excellent. But the same 60 marks, if a person who always get 98, 95, suddenly get 60. So will we say that he's excellent? Yes, no? No, right? That means he's underperforming. So one person is highly performing, that means high improvement. The same 60 marks, another person we say underperforming, right? Performance have come down. So this shows that numbers alone doesn't give us the right listing, but data-driven decision. Based on the numbers, we need to have a decision. So the decision is that you classify one person as poor performer, you classify another person with the same score as a high improver, right? But the data, we have the data. So the data will tell us the story and the decisions that we have to make. So next is performance optimization. So in KPI helps us to identify our strength, our weakness, and then shows way how we can actually continuously improve our performance. And also when we have KPI, most of the companies, we tie down the KPI with their performance evaluation, performance appraisal lah. So it gives you a motivation and engagement. And the last is a strategic growth, because KPI monitors progress strategically. So strategically, we actually move into that direction. Okay. Okay, how do we know whether our KPI is a good KPI or not? Okay, so let's look at the left-hand side. Well, when do we say that it is not a KPI? Okay, so example, reduce turnover, improve retention, conduct training. Why we say this is not a KPI? Why do we say this is not a KPI? Reduce turnover, improve the retention, conduct training. Kenapa? These three are not KPI. But many companies, many people write this like a KPI. So many companies, when I go in, the way you write your KPI is actually not a KPI. It's just a statement. Right? Yeah, Nida. You see, reduce turnover. No measurement in it. No measurement in it. Right? No symbols, no measurement, no target, nothing. Just reduce turnover. So reduce turnover, yes. Every company also will say reduce turnover. Reduce turnover from how much to how much, right? No symbols, nothing. So it's not, that means this is not measurable. Reduce turnover here, we cannot measure because no target. We don't know whether no symbols, nothing. Improve retention also same. It's a statement. It's not a KPI. Conduct training also is conduct training is not a KPI. Like conducting training is more of an initiative. So all these are non-KPI, but I have seen many companies writing this as KPI. So when you write this KPI, where you get stuck, end of the year, you get stuck because cannot be measured, right? Cannot be measured, cannot be compared with past results. So then the KPI becomes very big. Second, number KPIs, not a KPI, right? No numbers means not a KPI because no symbol, no numbers in that KPI, then they are not KPI, right? So because when you don't have numbers, it shows that they are not, they don't have measurement, right? So the proper KPI is what? Proper KPI is proper KPI is what? Percentage of voluntary turnover rate. When I use the word percentage of voluntary turnover rate, is this a KPI? Is this a KPI? Yes, no? Yes. Why? Why we call this is a KPI? It's measurable, yes. So it shows number. So you see percentage is measurable. We are measuring the percentage. And we have set the target, which is 10%. So that means there is a target there. And we also have a milestone by December 2026. So we have a milestone. So this shows that this is the KPI, right? So this is how you write a KPI, clear numbers, a real KPI. So in a KPI, you must have numbers, you must have target, you must have timeline. Timeline means by when you need to achieve, right? So then only it becomes a KPI, yeah? So this is where we fall out, many companies fall out, yeah? So you write it as non-KPI, but you claim it as a KPI. So at the end of the year, you struggle how to measure, yeah? So what is the primary perspective for viewing KPI? That means how are we going to measure KPI? Before we can reach a KPI, we must have a perspective, right? So KPI falls under 4 perspectives, compulsory. We have financial, we have customer, we have internal process, we have learning and growth, right? Can we choose this perspective? That means, let's say you have one company, they don't want to do on internal process perspective. They only want to focus on financial, customer, and learning and growth. Can or not? Can or not? Boleh ke? That means I don't want to do all the 4 perspective. I don't want to develop KPI under all the perspective. I want to select only a few KPIs, a few perspective which you think that more important for your company. Okay. Semua salah ya. Semua salah. Okay. Simple question lah. Let's say in your company and in your company do you have learning and growth? Learning and growth means training department. You give training to all your employees. whether it's official training or on-job training or something lah. Got right? Every department also will have learning and growth. Overall, the company also got learning and growth. We can never have a company without learning and growth. Okay? So next, do you have internal processes? Internal processes are all the work that you're doing in a company, in a department. Every department and company, they must have internal processes lah. If no internal processes, actually what you do in the company. All the work that you do in a company, it comes under internal processes. Okay. And then, do you have customers? Internal customers, external customers? Yes or no? No customer, no company, no business. No customer, no money. No money means no company. So every company will have a customer. And then finance. Any company you don't have finance department or you don't have anyone managing finance, ada tak company macam tu? Ada ke? We are all profit making company, right? Profit making company, finance is the killer. That's why it's on the top. Now I ask you the question again. Can we choose the perspective? Or can we run a company without any of this perspective? Boleh? Tak boleh? Yes, no? No. So, that means any company or any department, we must have the 4 perspective. Not only the company, when I say finance, customer, internal process, it's not the department. It's not the department, right? Right? It's not the department. Every department, okay, even let's say like you're in HR department. Do you have learning and growth in HR department? Within HR department, do you have L&D, learning and growth? You have to identify, right, within your own department, like HR department or production department, do you need to monitor whether your staffs are well trained, whether they go through upskilling, whether there's some training conducted so that, they start improving their performance? Yes or no? Ada tak mana-mana department, any department in your company doesn't have L&D? Even though L&D, learning and training, right, training is managed by training department, but when the training department requests, like, production, how many people you want to send for training, which training that you want to send, it's about learning and growth, right? Decisions of employees within the department is the function of the department lah. So every department mesti ada learning and growth. Okay, every department got internal processes or not? Every department got functions or not? Got work to do or not? Got, right? So it's IP. Every department, do you have customers? It doesn't have to be external customers, your internal customers, right? They are in another department is our internal customer. So every department also will have customers. Every department, do you get budget to run your department? Yes, no? Yes. Every department, you need to handle money. Handle money in a sense, you need to manage the budget given to your department. So you have finance. So every department will have the 4 perspective. So you cannot say, doctor, I am in production, so we don't have finance. Mana ada? Your budget, then who manage? Your own department is managing the budget, right? So that is why every perspective will fall under whole company plus every department. So every department, when you want to develop KPI, you must have KPI under each perspective. So rule number 1 is actually establishing your perspective. So every company, every department will have 4 perspectives. Under the perspective only, we will have proper objectives to be achieved, and under the objective, we will have proper KPIs to achieve. Clear? Faham ke? So right now, many companies, the mistake that they are doing is that they are not developing KPI based on perspective. So they randomly will have 20, 30 KPI, but the KPI are not parked under certain perspective. So if you do like that, maybe certain perspectives are omitted. Then your KPI monitoring becomes incomplete. So that's why we work through our perspective. Okay. So you see, I have given you an example here. Customer, right? First thing, how do we appear to our customers to achieve our vision? So objective is what? Broaden revenue max, in order to broaden our revenue max, because we want to diversify our customer. So measure will be revenue mix, right? So target is what? 10% product A, 40% product B, 50% product C. So this is the target to achieve. Okay, initiative is sales promo. So new channel marketing. Okay, these are the initiative. Okay, sometimes we have a KPI. Okay, sometimes we have KPI. KPI alone won't work. We need to also set initiative. Okay, we have to set initiative. We have to do, okay, let's say you have a child lah. You want your child to get an A for maths. Can by setting a goal, you call your child, Dora, I want you to get an A for maths this year. So by doing that, do you think that your child will get an A for maths just because you tell her to get an A? Boleh tak? Yes, no? No, right? Just by telling, oh, I want you to get an A this year doesn't mean the person will get an A. So you must also, after setting the target, I want you to get an A, you must have some initiative. Send her for tuitions, sit with her every day, teach her maths, give her a lot of exercises, and then ask the class teacher or tuition teacher how she's doing well, what she needs more to actually achieve the A target. So this is all called as initiative. This is another part many companies are losing out. You don't have initiative. You set the KPI. Okay, you set a KPI for all your employees or for your department. After that, you do nothing. And when you do nothing, do you think your workers will take the KPI seriously? You set the KPI. After that, you do nothing. Early of the year, you tell, okay, this is our department KPI. I want everybody to work hard. End of the year, we must achieve our KPI. Finish. As a boss, I've done my work. Early of the year, I already set KPI. I already briefed all my workers. Everybody, this is your KPI. End of the year, I'll monitor. You must achieve your KPI. After that, I never came back. Until end of the year, I collect the results showing everybody failed KPI. And then I scold them. So as a boss, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? No, right? So if you are the boss, if you are a boss, you do that means you do the same thing. That means early of the year, you set KPI. After that, end of the year, you measure the KPI. The performance never met. And then you tell all your employees, all of you all are useless. You never meet your KPI. So this year, no bonus, right? And I give a very poor rating for their appraisal, right? So as a boss, am I doing the right thing? If my workers, that means I have 10 workers under me, if my 10 workers did not meet the KPI, they did not meet the KPI, do I meet the KPI? My workers never meet KPI. It's very simple, right? Tapi tak tahu lah, some bosses, I don't know where they get their numbers. Because sometimes I see workers under the boss never meet KPI, tapi boss meet excellent KPI. Dapat excellent award lagi. I still trying to figure out the mathematics. Right? How people who under me never meet KPI, but I meet KPI, dapat award lagi. My workers KPI is my KPI. If I have 10 people, I plus the 10 people's KPI becomes my KPI plus some additional part on me lah, yeah. But if my workers never meet KPI, when I plus, that means my KPI also fails lah, right? That means I cannot meet my KPI. But suddenly I get award lagi. I don't know lah how, yeah. Maybe they have some kind of magic or what, I don't know. So it's a common sense, it doesn't make sense, right? So the best part is that as a boss, when I set KPI in the beginning of the year for my workers, I need to take some initiatives, right? What are the initiatives I take? So that they all follow. That means, let's say I set the target, but I feel 2 of them, they are still slow in their work. So maybe one of the initiative I can do, I can send them for special training on that particular process. That is an initiative. Okay, and then two months once or 3 months once, I have a booster training, creating awareness, checking whether they are following the SOPs and everything. That's an initiative, right? Mentoring them, that's an initiative. Coaching them, that's an initiative. Doing progressive monitoring, that is an initiative. So by setting KPI alone is not going to work, right? Setting a KPI alone is not going to work. You also need to have some initiatives in order for them to work. So that is why the KPI is very, very important. So next is financial. So under financial, how do we appear to shareholders to succeed financially? So especially shareholders, those who have invested in the company, those who buy stocks in the company or shares in the company, definitely they want to see the progress of the company, how we have performed better than last year, right? So that means we need to measure financially. Example, objective is to increase customer satisfaction. So measure is customer retention. So which is 95% or frequent buying this thing. So internal business. So all these, you see, you need to set your measures, you need to set your target, and you need to have initiatives. Okay, challenges in setting and measuring KPI. Yeah, so challenges and setting and measuring KPI. So one is non-KPI. Okay, which KPI is correct? Too many KPIs, no data, no owner. Okay, how many KPI is the best for a company? How many KPIs is sufficient? How many KPI? Anyone? The more the better or the less the better? The more the better or the less the better? Plus the less. The less. Sure lah, kita akan cakap less kan, we don't want. Because more KPI, more work. So definitely we will say less, right? Right? Yeah, it's actually not about more or less. It's about whether they are measuring something and whether it is needed or not. So don't some companies they have so many KPI. Okay, during COVID, during COVID, I'm actually so I was called to become a consultant for one of GLC lah, German company. So first day I went in to see what kind of consultation work they want, what kind of help they need in terms of KPI. So when they were presenting KPI, I got a shock. They had 424 KPI. Banyak ke kurang tu? 424. 424 KPI. Right? Shocking, right? So many. Guess how many employees they have? Guess. Wild guess. How many employees they have? They have 424 KPI. Yeah? How many employees they have? That Nida, if less than 20 lagi lah teruk ya. They only have 84. 84 employees, but their KPI is 424. So first question I ask you, tak buat kerja lain ke? Hari-hari datang monitor KPI saja ke? That means you're not doing any other work, is it? Every day you come in, you just monitor your KPI, is it? So many. Okay, and then when I came back, I felt like no lah, because they wanted me to finish the consultation work in 2 months because they have an audit. I said no, I'm not taking the project because it's impossible. 424 and to work with 424 and COVID some more. Our movements are restricted during COVID. So I said no, I'm not taking. After about 1 or 2 weeks, they came back again. They were begging, no, doctor, no one want to take this consultation work. Please take. Okay, I said yes, I will take, but I need 4 months. I cannot finish all this in 2 months. I need 4 months, and I have to do a lot of brainstorming sessions with every department, and then revisit all their goals, their targets, and their KPIs by department. So all this takes up a lot of time. But actually, even though I asked for 4 months, I took almost 7 to 8 months to complete the work. So much. And the one thing I saw very clearly is that most of their KPI are redundant. Redundant because they're overlapping. That means few people using the same KPI. Why do you need to measure the same thing by using, that means you keep measuring the same thing but in different KPI, but you're measuring the same thing. Is it necessary or not? Is it necessary or not? No, right? But they're very good. They print all the KPIs in laser. They use laser printer, 80-gram papers, so colorful, everything. All that doesn't determine the quality of your KPI. That KPI very simple, right? Why you need to measure? Why you need to measure certain thing in your department or in your company? Why this particular thing has to be measured? Okay, why do you measure? Why do you have to measure? Okay, let's say for this process, I want to have a KPI. So why? What do you want to know from that? So if let's say I have a process, I have a function, I want to measure because I want to know the performance. I want to compare the performance previous and now, or now with next year. So that means I have, because this one has an impact on determining the overall performance. Then only I set KPI. Only then I will set KPI. But if it is something that you don't have to know the performance, it's something very basic thing, or it's not needed, then you don't set KPI. You cannot set KPI for every single thing in the company. Okay, example, every department, do you lock your door? Every department, at when you're going back, do you all lock your department door? Yes, no? Yes, right? So do you need to set a KPI at what time you have to lock the door? Every day we monitor what time the person lock the door every day. No, right? So locking door, definitely there'll be somebody must lock the door, because in your department you are keeping all the documents secret. Private and confidential information. So every day the last person who leaves the department must lock the door. But do you need to put that into a KPI? Yes, no? No need, right? It's just a task. Not every task will go into a KPI. The task which will determine the performance goes into a KPI. The task which is basically you have to do, but it doesn't have to go into a performance. You don't need a KPI. So that is what I say. Not everything has to go into a KPI, but whatever thing that you need to monitor performance must go into KPI. So some companies I see, they don't. That's why I say some companies, they don't know for what you need to set a KPI, which one will go into a KPI. They set KPI for everything, and they also don't know what they are doing. They think that the KPI is there, but the purpose of the KPI is not there. So sometimes when I ask them, right, okay, you set this KPI, why? Why do you set this KPI? No answer. How will you measure this KPI? No answer. Who's going to monitor this? No answer. That means the KPI is not strong, right? The KPI is non-directional. That means no direction for the KPI. So no direction for the KPI means end of the year, the KPI is just a redundant. It's there, but no use. Then we don't classify that as a KPI anymore. Okay? Okay, and then the correct thing is that now we can decide. We must have a clear KPI, and each KPI must come with a target, and each KPI must have an owner. That means one person must be in charge of the KPI. So end of the year, when we are doing board level or company level KPI performance presentation, usually they should have when we have a KPI, end of the year we will need to compile all the results and everything. Every department will need to present their KPI and then tell us the achievement, which are the KPI they met, which one they never meet, which the one that they never beat, why they never meet, and what will be their next action plan for upcoming year, how to improve them, right? We need to do that. So in order to do that, every KPI must have an owner. This owner is the one who take charge on the measuring, implementing, measuring, monitoring, and coming up with action plan. So we must have an owner. This part also same thing. We have KPI. What happens when you have a KPI but you don't have an owner? What happens? Can anyone will anyone take ownership on the KPI? If we don't have an owner, so example, one KPI never met and we don't have an owner. So if your big boss asks, hey, why you never meet this KPI, who's going to answer? Who will take charge on the KPI? Nobody, right? Will you take? Will you take responsibility of something which is not under you? Hello? Yes, no? No, right? Because it's not under me. So that's why every KPI must have an owner. So the owner is the one who's going to make sure that the KPI is under him. What are the initiatives that he's going to do in order to achieve the KPI? And then at the end of the year, he also must tell us the performance quarter one, whether they have achieved in quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, overall, how's the program, everything. So they are the one who will become, they are the one who have ownership on the KPI. They are the one who are accountable for the KPI. So KPI fails not because they are difficult. Yeah, KPI is not difficult. Seriously, KPI is not difficult. Basically, I have so many companies where I went in as an in-house trainer, or a consultant. So after my class, everyone is progressing quite well. Not because I'm very good in teaching or what. It's because it's very systematic and structured. KPI is actually very systematic and structured. Once you learn the system and the structure, KPI is not difficult. Many companies find it difficult. You don't know the structure. You don't know the system. That's why you find it very difficult, right? But once you all learn, your whole company, all your staff learn proper way of implementing a KPI, proper way writing a KPI, proper way tracking the KPI, everything becomes easy. It's actually a system, right? So KPI fails not because they are difficult, but because they are designed and measured wrongly. Then only it becomes difficult. Yeah, it's actually okay. How we can improve our current system? Can anyone give me some suggestion? How we can improve our current system? Okay, I'll come back to this later. Yeah, I'll come back to this later. Let me finish up the slides first. Because we have okay, steps for selecting objectives for KPI. So steps for selecting objective for KPI. So which one comes first? First is perspective, the 4 perspective. After perspective, do we write KPI first or do we write objective first? What is objective? You also have to understand some terminologies in this KPI world. We have perspective, we have objective, we have KPI, we have target, we have weightage, we have initiatives, right? All these are the terminologies which we use in KPI world, right? So now I have 4 perspective. I have 4 perspective, which is finance, customer, then IP, internal process, and learning and growth. So I have 4 perspective. So under each perspective, I need to set the objective, not the KPI. KPI is just a measuring tool. Actually, without an objective, KPI is nothing, right? Without an objective, KPI is nothing. So in order to, before we can go into measuring tool, you need to set the KPI. Sorry, we need to set the objective. So objective means what? Objective means what you want to achieve. So only when you know what we want to achieve, then only we can actually select the right measuring tool, which is our KPI, to measure the objective. Then only at the end of the day, when you get the results, you can tell whether the objective is met or not, right? This is another weakness in many companies. You have KPI, you don't have objective. Many companies, they never write the objective, but straight away they move to KPI. So when I ask, this KPI is to achieve what? No answer, right? So this KPI is aligned to achieve which objective? No answer. They cannot answer because they never set the KPI. Sorry, they never set the objective. They only have KPI. This is another common mistakes I see in many companies, right? So steps in selecting objective for KPI start with your identify business goal. Whether your department or whether overall, you need to know what is your business goal, company goal, right? Okay, example like just now I say, one of my company goal is that in another 2 years, we want to be a digitalized. We want to digitalize all our manual processes. Is that an objective? To digitalize all our manual processes. Is that an objective? Yes, that's an objective. So in order to achieve, when I say to achieve, to digitalize all our internal process, all our manual processes in 2 years, right? That's my objective. So how do I achieve this? How do I know I'm achieving this? I set KPI. So first KPI is to digitalize 80% of manual processes in a department by 31st December 2026. Okay, is that a KPI now? KPI, right? KPI, right? Hello. KPI kan? KPI, right? So your objective is to digitalize all manual processes. Your KPI is that to digitalize 80% of manual processes in a department. So this when you measure this KPI, you will end of the year when you measure the KPI, you will get, let's say we scored only 70%. So that means what? That means end of the year when I measure this KPI, 80% of manual processes has to be achieved, but you only achieve 70%. So what does that mean? Your objective is fully achieved or not achieved? Not achieved, right? Not met. And then we will find out why. Why? We do a post-mortem. Why? Maybe the initiatives was not strong. Maybe we say that we want to achieve 80%, but all the workers in that department, we didn't train them on digitalization. So they could not speed up on that, right? Or maybe the time frame, too many processes we couldn't handle. We couldn't digitalize because IT department couldn't support the digitalization. So we do post-mortem. So when we do postmortem, then upcoming year, the next year, we set a new KPI for the same objective and see whether we can have more initiatives input in order to achieve the KPI. So this is how we work, okay? So first thing, you need to identify your business goals. Second, you need to define your critical success factors, right? So there must be in a company for us to be successfully, that means in order for us to perform at a high level, we will have some critical success factors. What are the factors which contribute to your performance? The factors which contribute to your performance, these are the one where it will go into your objective. Not everything we will set objective in KPI. We need to see all the work that we are doing, right? Which are the factors which actually support performance? Right? Like just now I said. In your company, is there someone who will lock the door, your department door? Every day your department door kena lock atau tidak? Is there somebody to lock, right? But is that a critical success factor? Is that a critical success factor? Everyone, every day we need to do the work. Locking the doors is a compulsory thing. But does that contribute to our success factor as one of the factor which determines the performance of the company? Yes, no. No, right? No. Okay. It is yes, correct, Grace. Right? So in front of the company, you have a security guard house, right? Guard house. Does the guard house is a success factor? Is your guard house is a success factor, or it actually is a task and safety matter? Safety matter, isn't it? So we have to know what actually is a success factor. Success factor means what contributes to the performance of the company. Okay. And then number 3, align with the departmental and individual goals. Your company goal must align with your department and individual goals. And then use SMART criteria lah, yeah? And then choose the right KPI. Yeah, we have leading and lagging. Leading is new KPI. Lagging is continuous KPI from the past. Okay. So some KPI, but majority of our KPI is lagging, right? Lagging. So benchmark against industry standard and past data. We also have to check what other companies' KPI is all about, how they are doing, what kind of standard they are following. So this gives us a benchmark, a guidance. And then ensure stakeholder involvement. Okay, set actionable KPI, something where the KPI can be monitored, yeah? Can monitor. Don't just have a KPI beautiful on the papers, but it's not working. Then it is not actionable. Okay, number 9, implement real-time monitoring. Monitoring, setting KPI very fast we can set. Even you ask ChatGPT also that can set for you. But ChatGPT cannot come into the company and monitor. So the monitoring is actually humanized. So monitoring is the one which is very, very important. And then last, you need to review. Setting KPI, having result, but no review. Then better don't do the KPI. After you set KPI, you need to monitor. Once you get the result, you need to review the result. So, and then tell that what is the result standing as, good or bad, right? So if good means, okay lah. Bad means why? Bad means that means we need to do a corrective action. So that is why the KPI is important. So these are some of the samples of KPI, okay? Okay, administration. Percentage of administrative requests completed within the SLA, number of administrative errors per month, percentage of accuracy in document processing. Okay, what can you see in all the KPI? It starts with what? All these KPI starts with what? A symbol in front, right? Did you notice all these KPIs that I've written? All these are KPIs. All these are KPI, samples of KPI, right? So the symbol in front is what? It's measurement. So this is that means when you write a KPI at your workplace, it has to start with a symbol. Symbol is a method to quantify the KPI so that the KPI is measurable. Symbol here means mathematical symbol now, yeah? So mathematical symbol here means it can be measured. So this is how we're supposed to write a KPI. Yeah, I want to share Excel sheets saja, ya. Okay, just a quick recap, yeah. Identifying KPI. So we have 1 to 11. I give you 5 minutes. Go through this 11. Tell me which one is a KPI and which one is not a KPI. I give you a few minutes. Just read this and then tell me which one is a KPI and which one is not a KPI. You just read first. You read first and then we discuss together. We go by number, Aisha. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Not all are KPIs actually. Okay. Number 1. Okay. Number 1 KPI or not? Nida say yes. It's a KPI. Amirul also say yes. It's a KPI. Okay, why we say this is a KPI? Percentage of employee satisfaction. It shows performance or not? Does this show a performance? Yes, right? It's showing employee satisfaction high, better. Right? When the employee satisfaction is higher, it's better. So it shows performance. So yes, it is a KPI. Okay, number 2, value of turnover. KPI or not? Okay, it also shows performance, right? Value of turnover means shows performance, right? Higher and lower. Whenever there's higher and lower, it shows performance, right? So that means, yes, this is a KPI. Finalize project by 31st December. Nida say yes, Grace say yes. Okay, finalize project by 31st December is not a KPI. It's a milestone. It is not showing any performance. It's telling that this project has to be completed by 31st December. So this is actually saying a milestone. So this is not a KPI. No, this is called as milestone. Milestone means that means what we supposed to achieve this by when. That is actually a milestone. So this is not KPI. Okay, number of clients from referrals. That means we have our clients, and if our service is good, they will go and refer to their friends to join us, right? So does that show performance? Yes, great. Yes. So that shows performance. So that is definitely a KPI. Number of employees. Okay, Nida say no, Amirul say no. Number of employees, it's not a KPI. No, right? Because this is showing what? This is showing demographic. This is showing demographic. That means how many employees you have at your workplace. It's just a demographic number, right? It's not a KPI. It's just a demographic. So another thing that you need to know, can number 5, can we, if we change a little bit, it can become a KPI. Example, if I write like this. Okay, number of employees recruited. Is this a KPI now? Then it becomes a KPI. Because I definitely the more people I recruit, that means the performance is better. Then it will become a KPI. But if just number of employees, it is just a demographic. Yeah, it's just a demographic. Okay. Okay. The next one, percentage of projects delivered on time and on budget. We are delivering so many projects, but how many projects? Let's say this year I had 100 projects. Out of the 100, how many I managed to deliver on time and on budget? That shows performance. Yes. Okay, quality. No, quality is not a KPI. Quality is not a KPI, but quality is a driver. We call this as a driver. So it drives performance. It drives, but it is not performance, but it helps. The better quality, the performance improves, right? So it drives the so it drives performance. It's not really what KPI. Okay, percentage of defect rate. Higher, lower? Yes. The lower, the better, right? So yes, this is a KPI. Okay, number of employee age. No, because number of employee age is demographic again. This is demographic. Okay, increase market share to 28%. Did I say yes? How about others? Increase market share to 28%. Okay, this is the trap lah. This is not a KPI. A KPI must start with a symbol in front. KPI must start with a symbol in front. Please remember, KPI must start with a symbol in front. Okay, this one, the symbol is behind, and this one, and then they have numbers like this, like 28%. So 28% is actually target. This one is a target. Okay. So this one, actually 28% is called as a target. Right? So whenever we start like increase, develop, nurture, all that, right? This is called as work. So this one is actually called as a work. Kata kerja, to do something. Whenever you start with a sentence where it starts with a verb, right? So this is not a KPI, this is an objective. All objective, you must have a verb in front. All KPI must have a symbol in front. Okay, so like number 11. Yes, okay. Right, so Grace, you need to write like this, right? Which one? This one. I can change it to KPI like this. Percentage of market share. If I write that percentage of market share, then this one becomes KPI. And the 28% will still become my target. Percentage of market share means it is a KPI, right? But increased market share is an objective. Is an objective. Okay. Complaints received from live chat. Amirul, very clever. Oh, cepat lah you all boleh belajar ya. So you see, it is not a KPI. It's almost a KPI, but what is missing is actually the symbol in front, right? So once you put the symbol, in front, it becomes a KPI. Once I put the symbol here, it becomes a KPI. Okay? Okay. I give you all 2 minutes. Everybody just write one KPI from your company or from your listing. Just write. I'm reading the chat actually. Just write. So if you just write whatever KPI comes to your mind, then I tell you whether it's a KPI or not. Jomlah buat sedikit hands on. Anyone try kah? Salah tak apa. I'm here to correct. Productivity, number of total attempt, Number of success, number of PTP. Can, but number of success, you need to write a bit more in full lah, yeah? Just number of success. Another thing, yeah, now, okay, can I see that again? You need to open the chat. This one, Melissa, yes, correct. Number of CNCs per month, that one is okay. Percentage of collected from debtors aging more than 120 days. Collected or collection? Collection, yes. If we change it to collection, betul. You don't put the target in front. I shall just say percentage of past external training effectiveness. The 100% will go behind as a target. So just have the symbol percentage to go in front. Don't put the zero in front. Percentage of medication error. The zero will come as target dekat belakang. Don't put the zero in front. Percentage of tardiness, yes. Okay. Okay, and then again, okay, good, everyone. Okay, just that some of you, like just now, I think it was too fast, I couldn't read. Ni, you all said success. Percentage of success. Success is very abstract, cannot be measured, right? Aisha just put percentage turnover rate of employees. 2 will come behind as a target. Okay, percentage welding repair rate. Okay, good. Okay. Faham tak Aisha, yang target nombor tu kan kita letak dekat belakang as a target. Macam ni. See, percentage of complaints received from live chat. Target tu nanti di belakang. Percentage of reduction in credit note. Yes, good. Good. Okay, so we go to the next part. Okay, so this, I just have a small exercise, this one, another exercise. After that, we will go and see the overall, yeah? Okay, so these are some of the exercises that I usually do it in the class together with my students who attend the training, you know. So I'm just showing you all, you know, how we actually do. So basically my KPI trainings are all highly hands-on. I don't stick with my slides for very long. Slide is less than 1 hour. After that, hands-on. So all my clients, if in-house, we will work with the company. Like I'll put all my participants in groups, in departments, and then every department we will start from scratch. So in 2 days, they can actually complete the whole process and come out with a proper scorecard. Yeah. So that is how our training. So I just took a few to show you all this is how the structure has to be. Okay, now I have a list of KPIs here. I have a list of KPI. I got 18 KPI, and under each perspective, you see how we work. Finance got 2 objective. Customer got 2 objective. Internal process got 2 objective. And people learning and growth got 3 objective. So under each perspective, minimum 2 objective, maximum 3 objective. That's the rule of the thumb line. Yeah? Under each perspective, we will have 2 objective, minimum 2 objective, maximum 3 objective. And under every objective, we will have 2 KPI. Minimum 2 KPI, maximum 3 KPI. So it's not the numbers actually. It's not about the more the better. It has to be manageable. The KPI has to be manageable, and you betul-betul kena monitor, see whether the KPI is telling us the story of the performance or not. So a quick exercise, I give you 10 minutes. See which KPI will go under which objective, and no repetition. Yeah. So we have here 9 objective and we have 18 KPI. So each KPI, each objective will have 2 KPI. So KPI, as I told you, objective is what we want to achieve. KPI is how this will be achieved, the measurement. Okay. So the KPI will tell us whether the objective has been achieved or not. So a few minutes, just go through this and we discuss together. Okay, let's discuss here. Okay, number one, value of operating expenses. This one will come under what? Under where? This one will go where? Operating expenses. Operating expenses definitely will be under financial, but under which objective? Is it to increase profitability or to maintain financial discipline? Okay, Nida say financial discipline. Okay, maintain financial discipline. Okay. Okay, now number of percentage of employees meeting professional development requirement. Oh, you cannot see just now the down one. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay. So percentage of employee meeting professional development requirement. This one goes under where? Anyone? PLG, yes, under PLG, which one? Ensure talent availability or workforce skills. She is coming under here. Professional development requirements. Okay. And then number of companies, sorry, number of complaints from customers. Number of complaints from customers. Under maintain high levels of customer satisfaction, right? Yes, correct, Nida. Okay. Profitable customers, number of percentage of profitable customers. It's under here also, right? Okay. Percentage of budget variance. Budget variance. So actually budget variance is here. And your operating expenses is actually here. Goes up, sorry. Okay, number of innovation ideas. Okay, innovation ideas, yes, PLG. So under PLG, it will be here, right? Nurture engagement, yes, correct. Okay, number of employee engagement index. Also same here, PLG. Number of training hours per full-time equivalent. This one is under develop. Okay, percentage of market share. This one is easy lah, new segment, yeah. Okay, percentage of net profit margin. Okay, correct. So this one will be here. Sorry, I need to do it fast because we are running short of time. Okay, number of procedures reviewed comes under where? Improve management process reviewed will be process. Okay, it comes under here. Okay, net cash flow is your discipline, yeah. Net cash flow is your discipline here. Okay, sorry. Under discipline. On time delivery of orders. This one shows your quality line, yeah. Okay, number of positions filled. Okay, ensure talent availability. Number of percentage of customer satisfaction. Wait. Oh, this one. This one is here. Okay, and then process improve is also here. Okay, orders rate is here. Critical position succession planning is coming under here. Okay, customer satisfaction. Okay, complaints, profitable customers. Okay, sorry. This one is here actually. And then this one is here. Okay, now we're done with this. How many of you all got all correct? How many of you all got all correct? All correct, all correct. Ada? Almost correct. Many mistakes? 50-50? Why don't update? Tak buat lah tu. 50-50 end, okay? So, that's normal, right? So now you know not how this KPI is aligned to the objective. You all understand? So what is the KPI function? KPI is KPI is just a measuring tool. What we want to achieve is actually objective. How many of you all have KPI but don't have objective? Honestly, many do that. Even big companies, I can only see the KPI but I don't see the objective. So that is why when we ask the question, what you want to achieve, how do you know that you achieve, they cannot answer. Yeah. So this is one thing. Okay, just want to share with you all something. So overall, when you finish your this thing, right, your monitoring sheet will be something like this. This is our scorecard, our overall monitoring sheet lah, yeah, where you see we have perspective, we have objective, we have KPI, we have our target, and then this target, we will break it into segmented target. Segmented target will be Q1 target. And so for every quarter, you need to monitor, right? So for every quarter, we will have the target. We have actual means what this is the target, and the end of the quarter, what we actually call counted lah, yeah? And then based on the actual performance, we need to have an action plan, right? And then quarterly initiative, whether they are met or not, and what is the quarterly. Every quarter we will have an initiative. So whether we actually met the initiative or not, that means we completed or not completed. So we call it as initiative status. And then for second quarter, the same thing. Third quarter also same thing. Okay. And then only we will have at the end of the year total. Total will be quarter 1 plus quarter 2 plus quarter 3 plus quarter 4. This is YTD, yearly total, right? And yearly percentage achieved. And then only we give our remarks, whether we have achieved. Okay. So, and then for every this thing, for quarterly, we can actually track like this. So when, let's say I change this to 100, right? You see the graph will change. The graph will change. So when I put back, the graph will change. So it tracks. So the same thing for every perspective. So we want to monitor every perspective. This is how we do. Understand? Faham ke? And then we also will build in our KPI into our performance appraisal. So KPI is 60%. So achievement of KPI, 60% will come into your appraisal. And then the other part, the organization, department, behavior, all is another balance for part. 60-40 is just a rule of thumb, but some companies will have 80% KPI, 20% behavior, or they might have 40% KPI, 60% on other things for appraisal. So we also can tabulate like this so that your appraisal becomes comprehensive and very strong. You're not just measuring them on abstract matters, but also bringing in the KPI. So this is also another method to measure. Okay, now I open the session for Q&A, question and answer, and I pass the session to Eliza as well, yeah? I leave this to MRS because usually preview sessions we don't share templates because it's just a sharing session. But I leave this to MRS, yeah.
Yes, yes. As for the previous session, there's no slides we will share. But however, we will share you the brochure, the full brochure of our KPI trainings, today's KPI training later lah after the session.
Okay, any questions? KPI when Anida, any and KPI for all the departments, every departments will have KPIs. So every department, legal department, everything, we will actually learn how to actually develop KPI. So yes, even legal department also we have KPIs. Your company is legal company, or one of the department in the company is legal department. So KPI we have two types of KPI. Yeah, one is called as functional KPI, another one is called as functional or quantitative KPI, and one is we call qualitative KPI. So sometimes the legal department will fall under qualitative. Yes, qualitative KPI is a bit difficult to set and measure, but it is doable. So it will be parked mostly on qualitative KPI. So there's actually a lots of things in KPI. Yeah? What we saw today is just a review. What is a KPI? The basic thing that you should know. But under KPI, we still have so many things. Yeah. So for KPI for quality for a legal department, like how many contracts that you all have reviewed, you all have approved, right? All those things, and then the litigation part, dispute part, like number of cases resolved within planned time frame, number of cases won, all that goes into KPI as well. How fast a case is handled, all that comes under KPI. So there are many things that we can actually think. Maybe in a surface level, oh, legal department are very difficult, but actually no, there are many parts of the legal department which is quantifiable. Yeah, we can handle. Okay, any other questions? Come, feel free to ask questions. Yes, definitely. We can individualize. The first thing is we need to set the departmental KPI. Based on the departmental KPI, we will do the individual KPI. So once you know how to develop a departmental KPI, from there, developing your individual KPI is very easy. It's just that for individual KPI, we don't follow perspective. It comes from the four perspective, but one individual will never do all the perspective, right? So we don't base that. But individual KPI must be based on the departmental KPI. So your scope is departmental. So under that only the individual KPI. So that's why when I conduct my training also, I'll start with departmental. Because once you know how to set departmental KPI, automatically you will know how to do your individual KPI. Okay, Amirul, percentage of documents submitted to relevant department in less than 2 months. Doctor, is this correct KPI? Yes, correct. So it has a target behind. Objective is only once. I mean, beginning of the year, lah. Right? Carol, do we have to share objective for every KPI report to staff? Yes, it is actually the table, the scorecard table. So it comes to KPI. That means the objective comes together with the KPI. You cannot handle just KPI alone. Then we don't know what is the purpose of the KPI. So it is like twins. The objective and the KPIs, they go together. Just now also when you all write the KPI, right, I can see like most of your KPI is almost correct. You know, the way you write is almost correct. Sorry, Your KPI is almost correct, but the way you write it, it needs further improvement. Some of it are very subjective oriented, Idea is there. When I see that, I know what you mean by the KPI. One is your sentence construction. Second is the way you write it, because KPI has to be very objective oriented, not subjective, not abstract. So because it is quantifiable. So on that part, you need a bit more fine tuning. Other than that, is okay. Okay, Eliza, back to you for evaluation and photograph session.
Yeah, sure. We are going to take the screenshot of the session lah. So if I may ask everyone to kindly open your webcam or your camera so that we can see your face as well lah.
Hi,
Alright.
Nida.
Nice
Hi,
meeting everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Uwi. We're all at workplace. Hi,
Thanks
Adi.
for joining.
Oh, Adi ada kawan belakang. Kawan jangan lari lah. Kenapa malu? Hi, Audrey. Eliza, you're muted.
Yes, sorry. I think anyone else is joining. Okay, so I think it's right. This
Hi,
looks good.
Shamina. Kawan belakang masuklah, kawan sebelah. Okay.
Okay. Right, everyone ready?
Dah masuk dah.
Your lipstick already, your hair you already do nicely. Okay. Now just look at your webcam. I'm just going to screenshot from here. Okay, wait, sorry. All right. All right, ready. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Wait, yeah. Let me see. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. So before we end the session, we actually prepared feedback for you to help us to fill in lah. Okay. So feel free to share your feedback on the session so that we know what we can improve and everything.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining the session. It was my pleasure to share some of the knowledge, and good luck to you all, and happy Chinese New Year to those going to celebrate Chinese New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And then for those attending, we will share our full training brochure to your email after this session lah. So feel free to contact us if you have any question on the programs and also on the registration. Thanks everyone.
Welcome, welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Sure.